What is new, my Mystic crew? So today we have our match against Callum. This was round 2 at locals. Unfortunately, my camera didn't work going round 1, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But this game does go to time. I'll just give you that heads up, but watch it all because it gets so intense. It is unreal. So Callum starts off by sending Machina Gear, the orange Machina. I can never remember its name. So I'd roll it because with Earth Machines, when that ball gets rolling, they're hard to stop. So I've had to do what I can to stop it. So I thought, let's stop him from touching anything else. But of course, he grabs the Unclasper, and Clasper drops one to the grave. When he goes into the Anger Knuckle and passes turn, so he's got Citadel and Grave, and he has the Anger Knuckle, and of course the Anger Knuckle can quick effect bring back the Citadel. So I have to bear this in mind. So I go ahead and normal summon my Firewall Defensor and link it off for Link Rebo. On summon of that, Firewall Defense will activate, allowing me to special summon Firewall Guardian from my deck. So there is Firewall Guardian. And so far, both me and Callum are 1-0. We both won our first games. So, this kind of will set the pace for the rest of the day. And then we go into the Link 2 Splash Mage, and then Firewall Guardian will activate itself to bring itself back. And then Splash Mage targets the Firewall Defensor and brings that back. We overlay into the Alabertion, and then we go to activate the effect, which is then met by Ash, but we do have the subtraction in hand. So I target his own Anger Knuckle, and we go ahead and special out the subtraction, and then we link off to Link 3 Transcode Talker. We bring back the Splash, and then we go Link 3 Decode Talker Heat Soul. Give the deck a little shuffle, let our opponent give it a cut, and we pay 1,000 life points to draw a card. So now Transcode Talker is 2,800 and Heat Soul is 3,300. So do bear that in mind. And I decided to swing with the 2,800 to do some damage there. And then on some, because a Earth Machine has been destroyed, he can spec back the Citadel. So from there, I swing with Transcode, and we're just having the discussion about the power-ups and how that works, just because sometimes it is what it is. And then we take out the Citadel, and he takes 300 more. But no, he decides to pop the Citadel, which takes out the Transcode, so Heat Soul just gets a direct swing at 2,300. So he does take a little bit more damage there than what was required. However, he has now unco-linked my monsters. And then he goes ahead and activates that Heavy Forward, I believe it's called, which allows him to search for a Nymph for the track monster. So from there, I drop the second Droll and Knockbird, because I did open 2. And then he goes ahead and summons up the Regulus, which, is automatically scary. He's got that Omni Negate, and he goes ahead and just swings over my Heat Soul. So he does have that Omni Negate, which I now need to try and deal with and try and work around. And yeah, so I can't remember what he did there. He unequipped it and then brought back the Anger Knuckle by getting rid of it, or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly how it works, but it is what it is. I attempt to activate Sigma from hand, which will allow me to special summon it, because I don't have a monster in the extra monster zone. And then I go ahead and normal summon the Firewall Guardian, and just overlay him straight into the Alabertion. From there, I detach to search, and of course he just Regulus negates, because why would you not? From here, I activate the Alabertion effect, giving itself up to spec back a Mathmech monster. So I bring back Subtraction, and then link him off into the 2,300 dude, and the new link decoder, and then activate the Partner Exceed to spec itself and spec another one from the deck. Now, of course, I don't have another Alabertion because I've used them both, but that don't mean we still ain't got plays. I bring back the G-Golem, I call out the G-Golem, which brings back the Transcode. And here I was having a little thing, because I was having a little flick through, trying to find a way how to get rid of the G-Golem and the Link Disciple, so then I could use the Transcode effect to bring another one back from the grave. But the reality is, I couldn't do it. Yeah, I just couldn't think of a decent Link monster I had access to which would work. Everything I see now just required 4 or more, so I thought, you know what, screw it. Let's do the 4, go access code target the transcode, and Callum scoops it up from there. He sees the writing on the wall, which I'm sure everyone did there, because access code does what access code does. So I'm going to pause here for siding, so I'll be back in a few moments. Okay, so we're back from siding. I've sided in 3 Nibiru's and 3 Dark Ruler No Mores for going second, and as you can see I've got a Dark Ruler No More in my opening hand, and he opens up Orange Dude, so he decides to activate. I drop the Imperm, and that ends his turn, which I couldn't be happier with. So I activate the Cynet Mining, ditching the Dark Ruler No More, just because at this stage it was not needed out of all the cards in my hand, and we go ahead and search for the Circular. I get met by a Droll as well, why not? Good for the goose, good for the gander. I ditched the Sigma for the circular effect, and then I think, you know what, there's just no point going into the Anniversary, because I don't get the search anyway, so I may as well go straight into the Splash Mage. Splash Mage brings back the circular. I target the circular with addition to link it into 2. I go into the update jammer, and then we link 3 into the transcode. The transcode will now activate its effect as well to bring back the update jammer, and then we go link for access code. I am going for the turn 1 OTK. Callum has caught me out multiple times for this now. Every time he plays it so cool, so calm, so collected, and then boom, drops that hand trap on me, in this case the Imperm, making access code at only 2300, but I'm still 500 points stronger, and I do still get that second attack. So Callum takes 2800 points of damage there, but I'm just stuck with a 2300 body, which has used pretty much all of my resources, so I am not in a good position here. Callum goes ahead and activates that heavy forward to search for the infinite track monster, and yeah, there's not much I can do. Oh, sorry, no, in this case it was the machinery deployment, which he did, and there's the fortress, and from there, I think he just attacked into access code, so I took 200 points of damage, and then main phase 2, he summoned the Orange Dude, which again, I just threw down the Imperm and stopped the Orange Dude from going ahead. Sigma's obviously banished because, yeah, and I've got Effect Railer, and I have a Pile Exceed in hand. At this point, I still weren't entirely sure what Callum's build was, because he doesn't normally play a heavy machiner package, but yeah, we're seeing a lot of machiners here. So I decided to not scoop. Now, you could have scooped there and just gone to game 3, but I wanted to try and get as much deck knowledge as possible, because Callum on Earth Machines is most probably one of the most dangerous games I've ever seen in my life. So I want to try and figure out what it is he's doing so I can be in the best position possible for game 3. Now, obviously there's nothing wrong with that. Some people would scoop, some people would do what I do and just play it out. But for me, it all depends on the matchup, if you're familiar with what you're against and who your opponent is. And like I said, here I needed to get more information on Callum's build, so I've decided to try and play it out. And there's another machinery deployment. Ditching a machinery deployment, he had all 3 within two or three turns. It was crazy. So he goes ahead and grabs the trap card, and I forgot the name, Unclasper, and Unclasper drops the fortress into the grave. And then from there, he goes ahead, sets a card. Wonder what that is. And then he passes turn. So I go ahead and activate Mathmech Equation, which is basically just Monster Reborn, but it gives it an extra 1000 attack as well. So there's Circular with 2500, and we go ahead and we link Circular off. Well, we were about to, but then Callum decides to activate his trap card instead, giving up his thingy to spec out the Orange Dude. Yeah, I'm still not really sure why he did that. Oh, no, wait, there's Citadel as well. So I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened there, but we link it off, and there's Pile Exceed. I attempt to activate Pile Exceed effect here, and we go ahead and get the other summon. So there's our other Pile Exceed. And then from here, he gives up the Citadel to blow up our field. So easy come, easy go. And yeah, I've got nothing else. And from there, I thought I've got enough knowledge here to go into game 3 pretty strong. I can see he's playing a heavy Citadel build with just some infinite tracks. So I'm going to pause here while we side, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, so we're pretty much done siding here now. As you may actually see in this video, my hands actually start to shake quite a bit, especially during this game. And this might sound silly to those of you who don't play, but some of you who do, and quite hardcore as well. Honestly, it started to feel like we were physically taking damage as well towards one point in this game. We were literally, at the end of it, we were both a wreck. And thank God we had a break afterwards, because we really needed one. This duel really took a toll on us both, and it just goes to show you that Callum brings it out of me. He makes us go at it. As you can see here, though, I'm not talking about my combos because this is just the standard Mathmech combo with circular and whatnot. And you'll see, like I said, this game does go to time. We are in game 3. This is heavily sped up. This is paused for siding and whatnot. So there's a lot of time which you guys won't see. You just get the pure game but play. But yeah, even Callum afterwards just had to take a couple of minutes. It was hard. But there we go. I've co-linked. I've set 4. So down, I've got a Silent Conflict. I've got the Mathmech trap card. I can never remember what it's called when I'm trying to think of it. Also have a Call by the Grave and Infinite Impermanence, I believe, set. So yeah, I've got a pretty strong back row. I've got a strong co-linked pair of monsters which can't be targeted. So all in all, I'm feeling confident. So Infinite Track and Harvester. From here, I decide to activate the Mathmech. I want to say subtraction, but it's not subtraction. I honestly can't remember what it's called. And we go into the Laplation on summon effect attach 2 to get rid of the Infinite Track, and we go 1 to 5 with the 6 reroll. We hit the middle target and get rid of the heavy forward, which honestly I was good with. Then of course we also have the Omni Negate, but it don't matter because he just summoned the Kaiju over it, so the Omni Negate's gone. He then summons the Infinite Track, which mets with the Imperm, because honestly, I could not let him go with Zeus. He could have hard made Zeus out and just blew up the field. I couldn't allow that to happen. Here he's gone into the Infinite Track monster, which has... I can't remember how much it has in all honesty, but it's the one that you detach from material and you make it a monster unaffected by any other card effect but itself. And then from here, he has to think about what he wants to do. Because obviously, he don't want to leave his Infinite Track on the field. So he links that off into Goliath, and then he activates Anchor Drill in hand. And then his Xyz monster will activate to equip the Goliath. Then he specs out the other Goliath using the Anchor Drill. And then from here, he goes ahead and just overlays into Zeus anyway. He goes to activate Zeus, detaching 2 materials, and I go ahead and activate the Silent Conflict, which banishes it, negates the Zeus and banishes it, and it also means that he cannot activate a monster with the same card name until the end of the next turn. He banishes his Anchor Drill. I don't know why he has 2 banish piles, but hey ho. He banishes his Anchor Drill to shuffle 5 cards back into the deck in order to draw 2. So we know he's already gone through his draw phase, his battle phase, and all that stuff. So we're just cycling through main phase 2 now. All I'm left with is a Call by the Grave. So he has literally played through everything I've had to throw at him this game so far. And not a lot of people with a lot of decks could play through what I've just thrown at him. So you think I've popped the monster on the field, I've ripped the card out of his hand, I've had an Omni Negate, which admittedly he got rid of. I had co-linked monsters, which couldn't be targeted. I had an Imperm set, and I also had a counter trap Omni Negate. You know what I mean? Like, who is playing through that? That is nutty. But hey ho, he played through it with Earth Machines of all things, but yeah, I've got my Heat Soul, I've got my token, and it's our turn. So I draw for turn. I pay 1,000 to draw a card with Heat Soul. You've got to keep that draw coming. You have to keep that hand replenished. I go ahead and normal summon Firewall Defensor, and I link him off. Here comes our little Ling Garibo. And then from there, our Firewall Defensor will now activate, which will allow us to special summon the Firewall Guardian. I'm having a little think here. I'm really thinking about what I want to do, because you just got to be careful. This is game 3. Honestly, I didn't think I'd make it this far, and I decided to go Sage to Floor. However, misplay number 1. Ding, 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 ding. I am Cyverse locked. So not only can I not do that, that is an illegal activation, but I've also given hand knowledge away to my opponent. So, mint. But, oh well, life goes on. It is what it is. So I'm having a flick through my extra deck, because obviously I've got that Kaiju, which I don't want on the field. So I link it and the Link Defensor off for IP Masquerade, and then the Firewall Guardian will then activate to spec itself back from the grave. But it is banished once it leaves the field, so bear that in mind. Again, I've already used things like my Splash Mage and my Transcode, so they ain't going to help me. I decided to link 4 using the Firewall Guardian and the Heat Soul into the access code. Access code, of course, targets the Heat Soul to gain 3000. He asks to see my grave before start activating the effects, which is fine. I don't mind at all. He just gives access code a quick read, and it is from grave and field. So I can't even pop a dark on the field if I really wanted. So I managed to splash, get rid of Thingy. He went to activate Citadel, so there goes the call by the grave to get rid of it, and I activated Banished Fire to get rid of his fortress. From here, I go ahead and swing for 5-3, 800 and 300. So that's a good amount of damage, but not good enough. Doesn't win me the game right there, unfortunately. I don't understand why I have IP and Lingarebo still on the field. I don't know why I left them on the field, in all honesty. But Lingarebo is at least a trap effect, I guess, so better than nothing. So he goes ahead, activates the Unclasped, ditching the little orange dude, which is level 4. I'm having a little flick through, see what I want to go into using the IP, because decisions need to be made at some point. He then goes ahead and activates Theory and King Regulus, equipped in the orange dude, and then unequips it, because it is a Union monster, so he can unequip it. And then he links the 2 off into the Blister. We go ahead and drop the Effect Veiler, because we want to stop that, but he just Theory and King Regulus negates the Effect Veiler, which I'm okay with. Regulus go and Regulus go. So he searches Box. Box then searches Trencher, or that one's Trencher, I'm pretty sure. Time is cooking down. It is slowly going. You can feel the pressure build, in all honesty. We can both feel the pressure, but we don't want to rush. We don't want to cause silly misplays. A lot of opponents would be like, trying to speed each other up, but honestly, we're not. Even though there's a lot of pressure, even though we're both feeling that competitive drive here, which is why I feel like it's taken its toll. Honestly, couldn't ask for a more respectful game. Oh, ignore that notification. I don't know why that pops up. I click on my settings to turn off all notifications, but I still get these. Figure that one out. But anyway, as I was saying, go away. We get such respectful games. I absolutely love playing against Callum. I lose against him a hell of a lot more than what I win. But every time I play him, I know it's a good game. I know that I'm going to be playing to one of my best abilities, because he brings it out of me. And I'm going to walk away learning something. No matter how much I know of this game, I always walk away knowing more when I play against Callum, whether that's about the deck he's playing, and sometimes, a lot of the time, about my own deck. He knows combos for pretty much every deck out there, and he's not shy to hold on to him. He happily tells you after the match, like, when you did this, you could have done that instead. And it's just amazing. He is such an amazing part of our community. And honestly, our local scene would not be the same without him. He honestly is one of our top stars, that's for sure. But anyway, from here, I spec out Sigma, I normal summon Sigma, and time gets cooled. So that is what you see in there. I'll pause the video just because it's going to loop back round and start playing from the beginning. Time was cooled there, and the final life points was I was on 1700, Callum was on 1600. I literally won in time by 100 life points. That's it. 100 life points. And as we've already discussed, all I could do there, because access code I believe was negated, or was going to be negated, I can't remember exactly what, but access code was pretty much useless to me there. We discussed afterwards what our next kind of turn or two would have been. All I could have done was gone into Mech Knight, Avalon, and taken out his monster, which wouldn't have got game, I don't believe. And as he confirmed, he had a Kaiju in hand, which he could have then beat over. So if there was another minute or two on that clock, Callum would have picked up the win. But unfortunately, on this occasion, the time rule ruled in my favour, and I've gone 2-0. I'm moving on to the next round. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good day.